Hey, Rob here with another part of Let's Play Dink Smallwood. This part's called Dead Dragon Carcass, or DDC for short, and in this part we'll be completing a quest that we got in one of the previous parts. But first, it's time for enemy encounters. We'll meet one new enemy in this part, and it's this slayer right here that looks like a mutated inbred werewolf thingy, and he gets 54 on the bitchometer. Now, I've got a couple of shoutouts to people for the previous topic discussion. I asked who formed the cast and why. Usually I'd only pick one awesome explanation, but when there's a couple and I can't choose between them, I'll show them both. And the first one's from Pillbug. This is quite long, so I'm going to sort of summarise it. The cast was formed by an unimportant peasant who at an early age got hit by a bonker. The man, who was a child at the time, sustained major injuries to his arm. He was hospitalised with a cast on his arm, and all his friends came in to sign his cast. 10 years later, he tried to join the King's Knights to prevent this from happening to other children. His offer was refused because of the state of his arm. This enraged him, so he went home, found his cast, signed by his friends, and tracked down everyone who had been there for him. He told them what he wanted to do, he convinced them, and together they enlisted more and more people until they had an army, and they called themselves the Cast. And the second and last one's from X-Death Evan. I don't know what he was smoking when he wrote this, but whatever it is, keep smoking at X-Death because it made me laugh. And he said, one day in Teletubby Land, Dipsy evolved into a mutant evil human thanks to the power of bunny humping. A year later, after more bunny humping, he'd formed a clone army and called themselves the Cones. Unfortunately, the other Teletubbies opposed him and ended up with broken arms and legs lined with casts. Thus, they adopted the new name of the Cast. Okay, now let's start. We're starting off in Aunt Maria's house once again. And we're going to start by going outside, and the quest is actually to the north. Actually, I'm not going to do the quest yet. I'm going to go down and kill some monsters for a little XP. Well, I'll just kill these pillbugs because they're so simple. Like I said in the previous part, it's just basically like free XP, because you really can't die on these pillbugs because they suck so much. So kill these, and then I'll head west one screen and kill this bonker also. Own that. There we go, and now I'll go and complete the quest. It's the quest that we got of saving Nadine's little girl, and to complete it we have to go north to Goodheart Castle, and then to the west of Goodheart Castle. So just head west, and we'll need the scroll that we got in the previous part from that dude that got killed by the cast. So actually let's arm that now. It doesn't take long to charge. And that giant pillbug should be back by now, that we killed in the previous part. Well, it will be back because we saved and loaded, so whatever. There is a random guy. He actually takes a few hits before he'll leave the screen. I'm going to make him leave because he's a hunter. Hunters take 3 hits to leave the screen, and a normal traveller takes 1 hit. Hit him once and he calls you a crazy bastard and leaves. Okay, so there we go, we've owned the giant pillbug, now we can go. And you have to actually use the scroll on this screen to get past. If you try to get past them poles without using the scroll, it'll hurt you. So, just use the scroll, and now let's kill these pillbugs. There's a few screen locks in this part, so you have to actually kill the enemies. And these are a little stronger than the normal pillbugs. I'm actually going to go and go onto all the screens here and kill all these enemies and get more XP. As you would have seen, I didn't buy a new weapon from the weapons shop in Terrace. That's because I was saving 500 gold for something else. Try to get 500 gold because later in the game, actually I'll probably get them in the next part, we get herb boots. And they actually do help because they make you go really fast, and they should shorten a lot of the parts that I do once I buy them. So make sure you save up 500 gold to get them. Or you could always go and keep getting some elk tree nuts, like I showed you in some of the previous parts. You can just keep selling nuts to get enough gold. And now we're entering a screen with a bunch of little girls worshipping a dead dragon carcass. So there it is, the dead dragon carcass. And the leader of the cult is Bishop Nelson, and we'll see him in a minute when he walks on the screen. He is the kidnapper of Nadine's little girl, the one that we had to save. He walks on right now. There he is. And he kidnapped Mary to join his cult, so obviously he just goes around kidnapping little girls and making them join his cult and making them worship the dead dragon carcass. And Now Mary walks on the screen, and there she is, and she insults their cult. See, how can you worship a rotting corpse? So now they want to sacrifice her. And when this dialogue's finished, we'll get a few different talk options, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. See right there, they'll all lead to the same thing. So I'm going to choose the top one. There we go. And now they find out about you hiding in the bushes. Get your hands off her, Nelson. She's coming with me. I don't think so, Smallwood. Now that's actually this part's discussion. You have to post your idea on how Bishop Nelson knows Dink's name and who he really is. For example, I'll come up with a random idea like I did in the previous part. Just to give you an example, I'll say Bishop Nelson is actually Dink's older brother, and Dink never found out about him because his parents disowned him because he was evil and he was obsessed with dead dragon carcass, and he got exiled by the king. So he's trying to build up a big enough cult of bonker transforming girls to exact his revenge on the king and the Smallwood family. So there you go. But now Dink actually screws up his plans. So there you go, that's my random idea. And now this guy transforms into a slayer. Right now. There we go. And this is quite difficult. You can actually try and get him to attack and miss you. And then he takes a bit to attack and you can quickly hit him. And oops, I just got hit. Stuff that. I think I'll just hit him with fireball. And try not to let him hit the girl, because if she dies you fail. Oops, I'm almost dead. Better be careful. Slayers are one of the most difficult enemies in the game though. Usually when I see them I hit them a couple of times until I got like almost no life left, like I've done here, and then I just sit back and hit them with magic, if I have any, which I usually do. In like other D-mods and stuff I'm talking about. Okay, and an interesting thing is, if you come back to this screen after you've completed this quest, because you actually get taken back to Mary's house automatically, Nadine's house, but if you actually come back to this screen when Dink enters it, he'll actually say, the memories. You probably didn't find that out because you probably couldn't be bothered going back there, but I did, so don't know why. I was probably just looking for secrets or something. But, yep, that's what he'll say if you go back there. And now that we've completed that quest, I'm going to go and save it in Aunt Maria's house. But first I'll just go and get healed. In here. There we go. And that ends this part. I'm going to go save it over here. Don't forget to post your idea about Bishop Nelson on my Let's Play thread on the Dink Network. How he knows Dink and who he really is, and whatever else you want to come up with about him. And that's it, so bye.